So, about BlacKkKlansman, I cried. What's good guys, it's Aida and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, please subscribe. I post videos every Tuesdays and Saturdays, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I post. I don't know about you guys, but for some reason I walked into that film thinking that I was about to see a comedy. I don't know whether the trailer deceived me or whether I wasn't paying full attention during it, but I was shocked. Like most of my reviews, this is aimed at people who have already seen the film. So if you haven't seen BlacKkKlansman and you don't want it ruined for you, click off this video, maybe save it to your watch later list and come back after you've actually seen the film. So I've gone to see this film 2 times already. The first time was an advanced screening with a Spike Lee Q&A at the end, which was like screened live all across the UK, right? I went alone for the screening, and I tend to go alone at least once when I plan to do a video on a film. So yeah, for this one I was by myself and I got emotional, guys. As I watched the film, I noticed a few interesting points, and I can't touch on all of them in this video because it'll be hella long. So I'm just going to pick on 1 or 2 or 3 that I felt like really stood out to me. The first one is that BlacKkKlansman constantly highlighted the way that black people and Jewish people were seen as similar in the eyes of the KKK. This is something that I had no idea of. Maybe it's because I'm so used to seeing the KKK torturing and tormenting black people, but yeah, I had no idea that they felt that strongly towards Jewish people and other racial groups as well. I was oblivious to their other ideologies, but I found it really interesting, especially when Ron tells Flip that he's passing for a WASP, a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, a term that I had never ever heard of in my life before. Whenever I hear the word passing, I automatically think of fairer skinned black people passing as white. This is the first time I've ever heard it in any other kind of context. It almost came across as though the Klansmen hated black people and Jewish people the same, until Walker tells Felix that Flip is Jewish. But it could have been worse. He could have been black. From that line, I gather that, okay, they hate black and Jewish people, but clearly black people are like the top of the hatred list. Now I want to tell you about the part that I cried on. That broke me. On my own. In the cinema. Real life tears. It was a moment in the film where they had a cross-cutting scene between the KKK initiation and the Black Student Union event, where Jerome Turner is talking about the lynching of Jesse Washington. Mate, that right there, woo, I could literally feel my blood boiling. Like I was watching it and I was like watching it, just like, Ida, don't let it get to you, it's just a film, don't let it get to you. My blood was boiling, I was vexed, I couldn't do anything about it, and the only way to let it out was through my eyes, like tears. I just felt them dripping down my face, and I was like, you know what, just let it out, because that got to me. If you didn't know, it said that the 1915 film The Birth of a Nation kind of reignited the KKK. The film was released a year before the lynching of Jesse Washington, and it's also said that they screened it during KKK initiations. There's a point in the scene where David Duke is standing up and he's doing his hand signs and he's shouting white power, white power, white power. It then cuts to Jerome Turner, who says, that's why we are here today, in the name of black power, black power, black power. In my opinion, cross-cutting in this scene is used to portray cause and effect. We jump between men joining the Klan, cheering and watching A Birth of a Nation, and the BSU meeting where we hear the story of Jesse Washington and are seeing the images that the professional photographer took of his lynching. I knew that this kind of editing played a major part as to why I felt so emotionally affected by it, so I said, let me just Google it and see what cross-cutting is typically used for. And it says that cross-cutting is used for strong emotional effect. Check. And frequently at the climax of film. Double check. Soon after watching the film, I was telling my friend who watched it at the same time how amazing I found it, and I cried and all that kind of stuff. And they were agreeing with me, they found it really good as well. And it was later on that night where they sent me a tweet which almost changed my mind, but I didn't completely read it. But the tweet was basically talking about the fact that the film is based off of the real Ron Starworth, and it's kind of I don't completely agree, but kind of like portrays him as the hero in the film, whereas in reality Ron was actually part of COINTELPRO, which is an FBI initiation that was aimed at surveilling, infiltrating, discrediting and disrupting domestic political organisations, and in this case the Black Panthers. This operation is also what got Fred Hampton killed. There was a insider who had, I think, done jail time, was arrested a few times and was told, you know what, if you go into the Black Panthers and do this stuff for us, spy for us, give us some intel, then we'll help you out, kind of thing. And he became Fred Hampton's bodyguard, and he also gave the FBI blueprints to his home, which was then raided in the middle of the night, early hours of the morning, and the FBI shot and murdered Fred Hampton. Throughout the movie there are slight hints to COINTELPRO. For example, the Kwame Ture event that Ron was sent to. That was the kind of thing that they would do in COINTELPRO. They'll go in there, you know, infiltrate them, find out information as much as they can, and just get in there and try to disrupt it from the inside out. But in this film, they only show him really going in there, listening, talking to, and then forming a relationship with Patrice, the head of the BSU. Then there's the J. Edgar Hoover quote, said by Chief Bridges, where Hoover talks about the Black Panthers and other such organisations representing the greatest threat to internal security of the country. If this is all true, and the real Ron Stallworth wasn't as great as he supposedly portrayed to be, because I particularly didn't walk away from the film feeling like he was a superhero, right? But if it's true, then I totally understand why people kind of turn their backs on the film now. But like I said, I didn't walk away feeling like, wow, Ron was so amazing, like I want to be just like him when I grow up. No. And to be honest, I didn't even realise the film was based on a real life character, supposedly based on a real life character, until right at the end. Like, I had watched the film, I had really decided, wow, that was amazing, that was needed, I needed that for myself. After Get Out and Black Panther, I needed something similar, you know, so I was content. And I was like, oh, okay, it's based on a true story, cool. That was it. I didn't go like, oh my God, I need to know about this guy, well, how happy I want to read his book, no, I didn't. So in that case, it didn't really affect me too much. I just thought it was fiction the whole way through. I don't think its intention was to make him seem like a hero, to be honest. It gave me a lot to think about in regards to what's going on in the world today. As to most people, I think that was the main message throughout, but it also gave me an insight, might be a fake insight, but an insight into the mindset of some of the white supremacists in the past and in the present. I want to know how you felt after watching BlacKkKlansman. Let me know in the comment section below. And also, have you got any suggestions or any ideas of what Spike Lee was trying to put across at the end with the upside down flag, which then fades to black and white? What do you guys think? I mean, I've read some theories and I have my own ideas, but what are your thoughts on that? Until next time, guys, peace, love, and life.